All right, cool. All right, so we've got a couple of topics to talk about that all of the city managers have talked about. So just things that we're hitting across the board, and then we've got a couple things specific to us. I don't think it's going to take us too long to get through all of it. But first of all, thank you all for joining. So everybody that joined, you're going to get 25 carrot points. And then for everybody else who didn't join, at the end, I am going to say a code word, and that way they can watch, when they watch the replay, if they can tell me what the code word is from the end, then they will get the 25 points too. So that's how that's going to work. All right, so one of the first things we want to talk about is, obviously we're all new out here in Phoenix. I want to talk about dress code and braid bars, and making sure that at braid bars that you are showing up in your Braid Babe shirt or in a shirt. Oh, hang on, I'm gonna mute everybody. Tori, can you mute everybody? I think everybody's on. Okay. Okay, so braid bars, especially braid bars, because we are there. A lot of people coming through, a lot of people seeing us. So we want to make sure that we are in Braid Babe uniform, that we look presentable. If you normally do wear makeup and you've got makeup on your pictures on your social media, then please show up wearing the same sort of level of makeup that you normally wear. If you don't normally wear makeup, you don't have to, that's totally fine. But for braid bars, make sure that your hair is braided. If that means you need to meet with whoever else is working with you ahead of time in the parking lot to braid each other's hair. I know I am very not great at doing it myself. So I totally get it if you have a hard time doing it yourself. But just keep in mind that when we are at braid bars and a lot of people are walking by and seeing us, we want to make sure we're representing the brand. Yes, Tori.
Something cool that came up in the Buffalo call today that will be new to everyone here is one of our braiders in Buffalo suggested a braid night around styles that you can do on yourself for a braid bar. So like easy like bun styles, easy 3 strands, easy sweethearts that are like quick and something to have in your hair. So I think like coming up in the next month or so, if you want to get something like that on the calendar, I'm sure it would be helpful to everyone.
Yeah, that's a great idea. That's a really good idea. Because I have a couple, yeah, I have the couple like simple ones that I do, but other like anything more complicated, I can't do it on myself. So yeah, that'd be great to know if we could figure out a couple easy ones to do and kind of practice those so that we all know. But again, if whoever you're working on the braid bar with, if you want to message them ahead of time and be like, hey, you want to meet 30 minutes ahead of time in the parking lot, we can do each other's hair real quickly. So just keep in mind that you're how you're presenting yourself and how you're looking when we show up for braid bars particularly. Oh, okay. So the next one is a good one. So I got a couple things about photos. One of the things, I don't remember who, somebody in one of the other cities started doing this, and it makes a lot of sense. And it should make it easier for everybody. If you create a folder on your phone with pictures, with examples of pop of color, feed in, glitter, like glitter in the part, if you want some examples of those pictures, like I can pull them off of Lightroom and send them to you. But if you have a folder on your phone that you can pull up real quickly when you're either at an appointment or talking to a customer, something that you can show them that you can access real easily, and just have a folder that just, braid babes, braid styles, whatever examples that you can show them. That'll make it really easy when you're trying to do add-ons, when you're just trying to or if they don't have an inspiration photo, if they don't have something that they necessarily have in mind when you get to their appointment, if you have some examples already kind of saved that you can easily pull up and go, here, how about like this, that should make your life and their life a little bit easier, right? So then the other one with photos, hang on, there was another one on here with photos that I wanted to talk about. Uploading your photos to Lightroom. That was the other thing. So make sure any braid bar photos, appointment photos, make sure that you are adding those to Lightroom from the week before by Monday morning. We go over those, myself, Mo, Callie, and Tori, we go through all the Lightroom photos Monday mornings on our call. So make sure that you're uploading those so that as we can go through those, that's where we pull stuff from social media. We just look at anything that could use improvement. We go through and talk about your braids and talk about which ones are awesome, talk about which ones might need a little bit of work. So if you can just try to remember like over the weekend to make sure that you're getting your photos into Lightroom by Monday morning so that they're there, we can look at them and go through them and then give you guys any feedback that we have from them. Let's see. In December, so this will be the first time for all of us doing this. In December, we are going to have our one-on-ones. So we do one-on-ones. Is it twice a year? Chelsea, Tori, Tori's not on there. Is it twice a year we do one-on-ones? 3 times a year? You're muted, Chelsea.
The in-persons?
Yeah.
I think it's twice a year.
Twice a year. Okay, that's what I was thinking. So December, we will do in-person one-on-ones. Just we'll have a list of stuff we will talk about, mainly areas of improvement, things that you're doing really well on, anything that you need help with, that sort of stuff. So just kind of keep in mind, I will be starting to get those put on the calendar. Yes, Tori.
The other thing with those in-person one-on-ones that we'll do there, since it's your guys' first time, we'll be doing a review of your kit and all of your supplies. So this is just something that happens every 6 months. It's no worries on anyone's stuff. A lot of it is just for us to get a general idea of like how inventory is looking. Obviously, after working for some time, your chair might get holes in it. It might get excessively dirty. If we've deemed it as something that can't be fixed, we'll be telling you, hey, it's time to order a new one. I'm sure all of your supplies are looking pretty top tier. I know a lot of them are pretty brand new, but that'll be something that's like helpful over time. And if you have any questions about like the setup of your kit or anything like that, we're so glad to help with that at those too. So there'll be kind of a couple fun things going on at those.
Perfect. Thank you. I forgot about the kit. So thanks for reminding me on that one. So I will be getting those put on the calendar coming up soon. So again, that'll be in December at some point. So I will try to make sure that we are closer towards the beginning of the month, because obviously in December, everybody has family stuff as we get closer and closer to Christmas and the holidays. So we'll try and get those done as early in December as we can, so we're not getting in the way of anybody's holiday plans. Just so everybody knows, we now have a list of emergency contact phone numbers. It's in the knowledge library in workplace. So if anything ever happens, if you ever need anything, you can find a list. Just so you guys all know, there is emergency phone numbers if you look on workplace chat. So if there's any that you might want to save, just so that you have them on your phone in case anything happens.
So those emergency numbers are nice because it's going to be direct contact to someone. But another cool thing is like, if you are ever, somewhere and you need to get a hold of us ASAP and you don't even have time to look for those numbers, if you call your Dream Team chat, that will send an alert to everyone's phone. And 99% of the time someone is on, so I'm sure someone will be answering it. Even if it's the wrong person, they'll be able to like get the right person to get a hold of you. So that's like another good like backup option if you're somewhere and you're like, oh my god, I know they're in there, I didn't save them, I just need to call someone. Go ahead and press call on your Dream Team chat, and that'll send everyone a notification.
Yeah, awesome. All right, let's talk about Bay Days. So obviously this is our first time doing Bay Days, but the other cities have been doing this as a yearly thing. So it's just a promotion to promote the monthly Braid Bay subscription. So for right now, there is a giveaway going on. It's on the Instagram. Recycling out. Alexa wants me to take my recycling out right now. So it's on, the current one is on Instagram at the moment. That is a giveaway for a full year of 1 time a month Bay. So that's an awesome giveaway. So that's a great one to share. And or again, send out to any of your clients you've had that you already had, that if you have texted them, if you've got their numbers, that's a really great way to convert people to the monthly subscription is to just reach out to them and be like, hey, just want to make sure that we've got this going on. So we've got the giveaway. Also, if they do sign up in October, they get an extra credit, and so an extra appointment for free for October, regardless of which level they pick, how many a month they pick, they get a free one. So again, another really great way to convert some of your clients that you've already had into repeat business. So again, that helps keep your calendar full, because if you're the one that's giving them the information, you're probably the one that they are going to book again. So that's a good one to send out. And if you want to share, if you want to repost the giveaway from Instagram, you can do that as well. All right. So speaking of Instagram, when you are posting anything, make sure that you add braidbabe_Scottsdale as a collaborator, because then it goes on our page as well. And it's just that many more eyes that are getting to see it. And again, when you do that, you get carrot points for doing that. Just so that I may not accept every single one as a collaborator, depending on what the actual content is. If it's just something that that doesn't kind of fit the look that we're trying to create, don't take it personal. I still love all of your stuff, and I will probably still post it in the stories. But just so you know, don't feel don't take it personally. I'm not saying I don't like you or like your content if I don't accept the collaborator for some reason, but if you can try to remember to tag us as a collaborator and everything, that would be amazing and much appreciated. All right. One of the things I want to talk about as far as actual braiding goes is bridal styles. Bridal's hard, first of all. Bridal is very difficult. You're talking about somebody who wants her hair to look a certain way for her wedding, and she's going to have those pictures for the rest of her life. So bridal's hard. Bridal is difficult, and brides are very picky. So now we haven't gotten a lot of bridal styles yet because we are still new. We haven't gotten a lot of bridal appointments. I'm sorry, is what I mean to say, because we are still new, but that will grow, and we will. I mean, we know we've got a huge bridal industry here. So I really want you guys to start kind of thinking about bridal. If you can, there's a bunch of people on Instagram that do bridal styles, that do bridal tutorials. There's a ton on YouTube. These are really great ones to practice on your mannequin. Just at home, you're watching a movie, grab your mannequin and put one of the tutorials on and kind of watch. Because it is very different than just doing a regular braid. The other thing is, I have a friend of mine that I went to school at Aveda with, who is absolutely amazing at bridal styles. Like, she just does the most gorgeous styles. So I'm going to talk to her this week and see whether she would be able and willing to come and do a little training session with us to help give us some pointers and some tips on how to create some bridal styles, because I've watched her do them, and they're pretty simple if you kind of know like where to move sections of hair and how to kind of like loop it around, right? It's not that difficult, but at the end it looks really complicated and beautiful. But yeah, so Val is fantastic, and I hope that she will be willing to come and kind of give us a little mini class. So I'm going to be working on trying to get that done as quickly as I can, because I think that would be great for everybody. I know I need help with bridal styles as well. So, and then if there's anything else, any other particular kinds of styles that you are struggling with, let me know. We can look for there. There's a million YouTube people out there that do tutorials. So really one of the best things that you can do is just when you've got free time, which I know none of us have a ton, but when you have some time, if you just find a couple styles that you like and practice them until you kind of feel confident with them, that's really the best way to get better at doing this sort of stuff, is just keep practicing it. Find people that that are, you know, on Instagram and YouTube that are doing stuff that you like, and work on it, and then make sure you take pictures so that you can show show your clients when you are at an appointment. Okay, let's see. Sorry.
I have something on bridal styles that I can just give like a quick little tip on too. To me, one of the top things with bridal styles, there's kind of, I think, two things that I always like think about and like look for. One is bridal styles, they're probably going to want things bigger. So if you're pancaking moderately, I would pancake heavy, unless they're obviously showing you or telling you otherwise. Bridal is usually thought of as big. So they probably want big, they probably want a boho style. And something else I would say is like, let's say they, you know, want something with a bun in the back. Like ultimately it's a big, twisted, like really cool looking bun in the back. You might be tempted to just do your braid in the front, grab the hair and start working with that and basically make a bun. I think that for the look of bridal, that's one of the worst things that you could do. I would suggest like multiple ponies in the back and then doing different things with them. So with one, you could do like a fishtail braid, pancake it out. Now that's one segment that you can build into your bun. On another one, I might do a bunch of bubble braids. That's getting you a lot of volume, that when you connect that together, you're going to have like a fuller looking bun. So the more that you can do like a rope twist on one and pancake it out, that's going to give you a bunch of strands to create a larger looking bun than maybe the amount of hair that they have. I think when you bring it all into a pony and it's all just in that pony, you're now limited. That's the circle. You can only go as far as like that hair will let you go. But if you have like 3 or 4 different ponies that you do different things with, and then just make sure things are pinned and covered, it's going to look like a larger type of bun in the back than if you just do it all at once. And it's probably going to seem easier because those areas that you want to cover, that you're struggling to cover with maybe just like that area that you have the bun in, it will be easier to get that kind of coverage going on. And maybe like along the lines of this, it might be cool, maybe Emily after this send Alex a message. It would probably be cool for us to do some sort of like a little bridal updo worldwide soon. I know she's doing for October a Halloween type themed one, but maybe November we could do some sort of like an updo styling too. That would be helpful.
Yeah, that's a great idea. And yeah, and exactly like Tori said, on almost every and any bridal style video that you can find, they are always going to start with like a very small section for pony and leave all the rest of this and separate it into like various strands that you can then wrap around the single pony. So yeah, like Tori said, it looks bigger, it looks fuller, it's more romantic, it's softer, it's everything that brides want. So yeah, awesome way to explain that, Tori. Okay, so if anybody has any friends that are interested in coming to work for us, please let me know. We have another boot camp coming up soon, and we definitely need some more people here in Phoenix. Most of our availability is in the evenings and on the weekends. So I really need some people that can potentially have availability during the day. And then just some of these braid bars that we've got coming up, we need 4, 5, 6 people at them, and we have multiple events on the same day. So if you have anybody, please send them to us. Just please, we need some people. So anybody you can refer would be awesome. So speaking of upcoming events, I just wanted to kind of quickly go through what we have already planned for October, and there's a couple still that I'm working on. So this coming Friday, we have the Arizona Country Club. That is it's a free braid bar. We're giving it to them for free, but that's our dad training. So we're going to be doing it at the kids club that's at the country club, because the lady who runs it is amazing. And she had a bunch of dads, all the dads, not all the dads, but a bunch of the dads from the country club all came to her and said, I don't know what to do with my daughter's hair before school and I need some help. So so she wanted to set up a little training for some of the dads for just some basic braids so that they kind of know what to do. So we'll be doing that and then just doing some regular braids as well. So that'll be fun. And then of course, we all know Saturday is our first event with Harley Davidson. So that's Saturday is the Bikers for Boobies, obviously. We actually have 2 braid bars that day. Who is it? Steph and Tiffany, right? Are working the Molly and Tiffany, right? Yeah. Are working the F45, which is the gym braid bar.
I think that's Molly and Steph working F45.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right.
Okay.
And then everybody else is going to be at Bikers for Boobies. So Bikers for Boobies, we're going to have our 10x10 tent set up. I have a ton of pink feed-in hair. I will have all of the pink shimmers. I will have pink glitter. So this is going to be a pay per event. So we will have a menu. I'll be putting the menu together with Chelsea tomorrow. Chelsea, is that right? That we'll be working on creating the actual menu. So we will have a menu to show people to let them pick from. So, but again, I think that we kind of based on talking to Harley and kind of how this event goes, I think we're going to have a lot of people that want pink feed-ins. They just want all the pink because it's a breast cancer awareness event, obviously. So that one will be fun. And then just so you guys know, it goes 10 to 1, but because it's a pay per event and because it is Harley Davidson and they're going to have all sorts of stuff going on, there is a good chance, I kind of have a feeling it's going to run longer than 1 o'clock. So if you're willing and okay to stick around, if we still have people who want braids done, then we'll stick around. If it's not busy and it's slowing down, then we'll get out of there. But just kind of giving you a heads up that it may run a little bit. I just kind of have a feeling it's going to run a little bit longer than 1 o'clock. If you can't stay, that's totally fine. All right, then the 26th, so towards the end of the month, we have Arizona Country Club again, their fall festival. So this is going to be this is a huge festival they do every year. It's 5 to 8. We're going to be doing shimmers and very simple braids, like very, very simple braids so that this can be quick. We can get through as many because they think it's going to be mainly the kids that want it. I think there's going to be more adults that want braids than what they're expecting, but we'll see how it goes. Then we have the 28th, which is Friday. We have a collaboration braid bar we're doing with what is the word I'm looking for? Skincare. She does skincare. Why can I not think of what it's called? Esthetician. Thank you. Esthetician. An esthetician, a jewelry lady, and then something else. She just sent me earlier and said that she had one other person. So we're going to have a couple different people that we're setting up kind of in a cool like yoga space. So that should be fun. We're going to start sending out some stuff for that soon. November, we've already got a couple big events coming up too. So the first week of November, we've got a braid bar at SIP in Old Town, which will be fun. That's their ladies' night, so that should be a really fun night. And then that first Saturday in November is the Harley Davidson anniversary party, which should be even bigger than the Bikers for Boobies event. So that's going to be 11 to 4, so it's 5 hours. And at the same time that we have that, we also have Fashion Week for Kids at Desert Ridge Marketplace, which is a 6-hour event. So we're going to have to spread it out between the 2 events because they're both obviously long. We can't go from one to the other. Whoever's at both is going to have to stay at both. So that's the reason I still don't have those on your calendar, because I'm trying to get just who's going to be where on those, since they're both big things and they're long days. And but I was working on it today, trying to get scheduling on that figured out. So and then the other big one we have in November that just got finalized last night is a company called K18. So they make hair care products, specifically like shampoos and masks. It kind of reminds me of like Olaplex. It's that sort of like stuff, like bioengineered, like hair stuff, right? They're doing a big corporate event here in Phoenix. They're based in California. So they're bringing all their people here. They have a whole like dinner thing planned for that evening. So prior to dinner, they have us plus a couple other like makeup artists, massage people, I guess, I don't know, I'm not exactly sure, but I know they've got a couple things where they have we have 2 hours, 4 to 6 before their dinner to braid hair, give them shimmers. They're going to be able to get their makeup done. They're going to be able to get massages, like all this stuff going on. So we are going to have 6 of us there for that event because they want us to be able to get through about 40 people if possible in those 2 hours. So with all of these, with Harley, with K18, with Fashion Week for Kids, all of these, it's really going to be about speed and being quick and getting each person done as quickly as possible to get through as many of them as we can for some of these events. So just so you know. The K18 one, Tiffany, is that what you're asking about? That is November 16th. So it's a Wednesday evening from 4
That's
Oh,
to
my
6.
birthday. So have fun, everyone. You can celebrate my birthday while you're there.
Woohoo!
Send me
We'll
some
make
products.
sure we'll make sure we cheers you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Give me some good products.
I was gonna say, I'm really hoping that there's some like awesome swag that we get to bring home. And if there is, I will send you some. So yeah, so just kind of be thinking about all with quite a few of those. We're going to have a lot of us there because we're going to need to try and get through a lot of people as quickly as possible. So any of those ones that you're struggling, any of the braids that you're struggling with on speed, maybe just as you've got time, again, kind of practice those ones and try and get as quick as you can on getting some of those, sticking to the 15 minutes on the menu braids so that we can really get through people on some of those events. And I think that was all of the topics that we needed to cover. Does anybody have questions, comments, concerns, anything at all?
Those numbers, the emergency contact number, is it okay if I give my husband that number too? Is that shareable? Just in case he needs to like reach out to me or something like that?
Yeah, I think that's fine. I mean, I think your significant other, whoever, your mom, husband, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, if there's somebody that you think that they should have those, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I would expect that they're not going to call us randomly.
We also have anyone, whoever you submitted as your emergency contact,
Mhm.
have them on file as well. So if we ever weren't hearing from you, we're concerned for some reason, we would also give them a call. So yeah, absolutely give them the number they can call to reach us. And then just for you guys know that, let them know that we may be attempting to call them. So just, if you're
For
ever
sure.
having a weird number calls them, probably answer it because it's probably us just letting them know something. I don't expect us to do that very frequently unless there's a real emergency or something going on, but just so that they're aware of what our process is.
For
I just had
sure.
a random thought based on this. So I do think it's a good idea for significant others to have the client service call, because client service can confirm yes, they're working, so that's probably why they're not answering their phone right now or whatever. But Chelsea, we should create a policy for client service for BER. Sorry, I talk to outside people outside of Braid Babes too much, so I say client service. It's the worst. BER. Chelsea, we should make a policy for BER that just says all they're allowed to say is that employee is working right now or that employee is not working for Braid Babes right now, and give no addresses or specifics, because a stalker could call us and get information. So we should make that a policy.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I agree. Good question, Molly. Maddie, did you have a question?
I was just going to ask about the feed-in practice on Friday and what that is.
So, okay, so Kayla's not on, but Kayla, and Aaron obviously are the new hires. They both need to do their feed in and shimmer mocks. Kayla is going to be working on Saturday with us at Harley. So I needed to get her feed in appointment done before then so I know that she's good for Saturday. So then as I was thinking about it, I went, wait a second, I really want pink feed-ins for, for Bikers for Boobies. So essentially all that is anybody is willing to, and anybody that wants to come over from 11 o'clock until I have to leave for that braid bar about 4 on Friday night. But anybody that wants to come over, if you want feed-ins, if you want to practice, if you want to give somebody else feed-ins, like it just essentially just if everybody wants feed-ins, we will like take turns braiding each other's feed-ins, doing either pop of color or doing full feed-ins, whatever. So that's all it is. It's just because I know a lot of us have not had a ton of practice with feed-ins yet. Steph has been killing it with the feed-ins. Her feed-ins have been looking awesome. So yeah, hopefully we can all get to that point where we're all comfortable enough and with doing them. And I think again, that everybody that's working on Saturday I think everybody's going to get a lot of practice doing them on Saturday, which is great. So I just wanted to give you an opportunity kind of right before that to work on it a little bit where we can kind of help each other out, critique each other, and give each other pointers, like helpful tips and stuff. And again, I want pink feed-ins, and I think a couple other people want them too. So,
Steph, that pink and purple feed-in you did, we came across that in Lightroom. That looks so good. I was like, oh my god, this is so cool. Who did it? And that was you.
Thank
And
you.
like, oh my god.
Thank you. It was fun. I was very, very proud of it. I even did it in an hour and a half, which I was even more surprised by.
Yeah, you did great. Awesome job.
Thank you. Thank you.
yeah. So if you can come on Friday, great. If not, it's not that big of a deal. It's just to practice. It's just for fun. And if you want feed-ins, then you can get feed-ins. So if you do want feed-ins, just go to one of the like Remy or Mars and get hair, or you can order. I put the link in there. The hair that I ordered for for Harley, I have like 20 something individual bundles of hair. So I need to save that. So I just want to keep that for Harley and not use it for us. But that link is the same hair that I ordered. So it's the same color. It seems like fairly decent hair. I've got it sitting on my table, was going through it when it came yesterday. So you can, order it. It came from Amazon and it was 2 days. So you could order it today and have it by Friday if you wanted it. Or you can go to one of the stores, Mars or Remy or whatever, and get a different color. I have a couple extra packs that I bought last time I went to, if anybody wanted those, if anybody doesn't have time to go. Yeah. Any other questions?
Did you go to the Remy place? Did you go to Remy today?
I went to
I haven't been there yet. I went to the Mars, whatever it's called, Mars Beauty Supply. And I was not impressed. The place itself was massive.
Mm-hmm.
They have a lot of stuff, but as far as colors, they had like 2 colors. They didn't have colors.
Remy was basically the same. Most of the colors are like ombre. There was very few solid colors. Most of them were ombre. They do have a huge selection of colors. There weren't a ton of solid color ones. So I got some ombre ones just to practice with and play with. I've been making dreadlocks. So that's really fun. You should have seen me earlier, because I just put a couple in. So this morning on our calls, I had like 4 dreadlocks that were like just right here, very randomly. So yeah, Remy's good. I would say if you do want to go look, if Mars was a little disappointing, I would check out Remy, because they did have some colors, just not a ton of solid colors, but they've got a ton of hair.
We are also, guys, like, this was a very like fluke scenario. We kind of got set back with our supplier when she went in the hospital a couple months ago. We were in the process of stocking up to have 20 of everything, and then that kind of happened. So kind of depleted everything. We were looking for a new supplier, and then she got back from her her hiatus that she was on, and we ordered from her again, but we have now also found like another supplier, so things should be moving along in a better direction for us having more supplies of that feed and hair and getting it to you quicker. So the days of you having to go and like look around for stuff should be numbered. So we are actively trying to fix that. I don't want you guys to feel like we just have a terrible feed in solution right now. We know it's not great.
That along with a change in who's shipping everything, right? So it went from Nicole to Anna. So that also took place in the middle of that. So it was kind of just a ton at one time. It really knocked us down, but we're getting back up there. So everything will return to normal. We promise. It's been crazy. So thank you guys too for being patient for everything. And we really appreciate it.
And Tiffany, your question. So Tiffany asked in the chat if the pink feed-in that I ordered from Amazon is the same stuff we use for boot camp. I don't think it's not the same kind that I ordered for boot camp, but it is one that Anna had sent me, meaning she's used it before, and it is, I mean, again, I have it sitting on my table and I did pull it out and it does seem like fairly decent hair. So,
Okay.
so
I was just curious because like the one that we used for boot camp and then the one that we used for the training braid bar was like a night and day difference as far as like texture.
Mm-hmm.
And I found the one that I used for boot camp impossible to use. And then the second that I tried it on like an actual person, I'm like, it made 1,000% difference.
Yeah. Feed in hair, there's a huge variation in the quality of it, for sure. So this pink kind seems to be fairly, now I haven't actually braided any, I haven't even tried it with my mannequin, just taking it out and feeling it. It does feel like it's fairly decent. But I haven't actually tried braiding with it yet. So we will see.
With what you said, Tiffany, that is why it made it so difficult when our supplier ran out of it. It is so hard to find like the best quality ones that we didn't want to bulk order something that really wasn't great. So that's kind of why we're in the position we were in, was because we were struggling to find a really good another supplier. Luckily, like I said, we have now, and we have kind of a couple options floating around, but it just took a minute for us to kind of get that research done. So I'm glad you also like notice it, because that was our biggest struggle, was like trying to find something that would be right for you guys to use.
Okay, so right now, because we're almost done, I am going to say the code word for everybody that's watching on replay. The code word to tell me so you get your points is purple fire hydrant. Do not share that with your friends. They need to watch to hear it.
Don't tell anyone. Don't ruin the secret.
So if you're watching a replay, there you go. Send that to me so that I know that you watched to this point, and you will get your carrot points.
Very exciting. And then lastly, before we like fully end here, me and Chelsea will go over some of our OKRs with you guys as a company. You'll kind of see what we're working on, what we're working towards, things like that. Chelsea, you want to share your screen?
Yeah. I think this is probably everyone's first time hearing about OKRs since the last call. We were in the middle of a quarter, so I'll just kind of catch everyone up on that. So an OKR is an objective and key result. So basically the objective is a big picture kind of sentence statement, and then the key results are some tasks or projects or numerical values that would ensure that we got to that big task or the big picture statement at the beginning. So you'll see as we go through them, we have them listed as like almost in affirmation form. So, you know, when you like do positive affirmations and you're like, I am strong, I am kind, things like that. So we like wrote them as if they already happened. So these things did not happen yet. We are going to do them in Q4, but it's just as we read them to ourselves, we're obviously then repeating that it happened. So it's just good little practice. So, all right, hold on 1 second. Let me figure out how to share my screen again. Okay, here's this. Let me make it full screen. Okay.
Cool. And mine is the first one. So me and Chelsea will be bouncing back and forth telling you guys about these OKRs. Our first one here is improving our safety practices. So that is our overarching goal. And then basically how we can say we've achieved that are these next three. Once these three things are done, we view that the goal has been completed. So the first one is the safety night in January being planned. They will be twice a year. Every 6 months we'll offer one of these. And your first one that you're able to attend is paid. We're hoping you can attend one of the first two. So we'll, get those dates out to you guys, and hopefully you can, like I said, join in one of those. It's going to be really fun and interactive. There will be a lot of learning through activities and things like that. So, even though just your first one is paid, you might really think these are fun to go to and want to pop in when we offer one of these. I think they're going to be a pretty fun event. So that'll be a really cool thing that will be like a fun learning in-person kind of activity that we got going on. Next up, we're going to be doing more documentation around how to use our emergency button on our own phones. So I know iPhone has some sort of setting on it. We found out that you can set up emergency contacts, and if you push a button a certain amount of times, it will send your location to who you deemed an emergency contact. So not that you have to set this up, but we want to give you the resources on how you can set this up. We'll also be doing one for Android, so we'll have kind of two versions of it, so that based on your phone, you know how to use the safety features, should you choose to use them. And then lastly, we're going to be doing a 2-hour leadership meeting to review our safety processes. We've been doing a lot to try to grow in the realm of safety. We did a safety podcast. We've kind of talked to some experts in the industry on some of our questions, got things answered. So there's been a lot of discussions around it, and we want to get some real documentation around those things and make sure that that is in our further training and things like that. So at the end of this, we'll have all those things done, and hopefully we will have improved our safety processes.
Next up, we have improved operations processes. Holy cow. And then things that would prove to us that we accomplished that is our app would be in testing. So our app, you guys being so new to us still, like you probably don't know, but our app has kind of been like a really long time coming, a long process, a lot of ups and downs, roller coaster ride, all the fun stuff. But we are hoping to have it for the new year. So we want to get into testing as soon as possible. So that would be the first one. We have improved role documentation. So for example, I just hired AJ as BER, and I basically had nothing to hand to her to kind of let her know what BER is and all of that fun stuff. So that's just something everyone wants to get better at, is we get new tasks every single day that we should probably be writing down somewhere. And then when it comes to time, like when I hired AJ, I'm like, oh my gosh, so much is missing, so much has changed since I even trained from that doc. So so that's just something that we're all continuing to work on. We have moved from Asana to ClickUp. So Asana and ClickUp are both task management softwares. They are what all of the internal team uses every single day for day-to-day tasks, recurring weekly, monthly, yearly tasks. It's all pretty much in there. I've compared Asana to Android and ClickUp to Apple or iOS. Just that's how the functionalities seem to work out. Android seems to be a little, Asana, but also Android seems to be a little dark, dull, hard to use, things like that. ClickUp is a little more bright, fun, more functionality. Things are ever changing in there. Asana's just been kind of the same. So that's just kind of the comparison I have there. ClickUp's gonna do really good things for our entire internal team, I think, especially the city managers. It's going to act as a really good CRM for them. So that's just something that we're wanting to move over our entire team to. The next one is we have team OKR tracking. So this is new this quarter. We have asked the entire internal team to create their own OKRs, just like what you're looking at right now, but for themselves personally, in their professional life, obviously in their role. So we're excited to track those because everyone does such cool things every single day, but seeing it tracked over time and the really cool accomplishments they have will be nice to see. overtime until the 31st of December. So next one is we have renovated onboarding. Tori and Alex are pretty much gutting onboarding. They are going to revamp the entire thing. It's just kind of been, like, I don't want to say the same since it got here, because it's obviously things have been changed and improved, but we just think it could use a total like facelift. Tori and Alex are just going to kind of revamp it to be more effective, efficient, user-friendly, have everyone, have it flow smoother, things like that. So they've got a lot of really good ideas going for that. So we're excited about that. And that's it for we improved operations processes. The next one is we've successfully closed crowdfunding. So as some of you or most of you or all of you may know, we've been raising our crowdfunding round our goal is 700,000. So the next one is we've raised 700,000, but this is for a few things. It'll help launch our app. It'll help us launch our next city. It'll help us hire key roles in the business. So there's a few things with that money. That's why we're raising that money. So our goal is 700,000. Like I said, we have had a strategy meeting with HQ. We've done this quite a few times already about different topics. So what we do is we get every single person in the internal team on a call, and we basically just brainstorm, brain dump into Asana. We just start like rambling things off, and then we start forming them into tasks. That's actually how Bootcamp Pro came about, is one of those meetings for hiring strategy. So it's really good things come out of it, obviously. So we're excited to see what comes out of this one. And then that kind of goes hand in hand with the next one. We have planned a marketing campaign that will probably come out of that meeting, I assume. So I'm excited to see what good marketing we get around crowdfunding. We are posting our crowdfunding totals each morning in our HQ chat to hold ourselves accountable. This is just a little something that we're going to be doing, like exactly like it says, to hold ourselves accountable, but it's just nice to see each day kind of like where we're at now. And I think it'll excite everyone and motivate everyone to keep working towards it every single day. Seeing the number go up is obviously rewarding. So that'll be exciting. That is it for crowdfunding. And the next one, I'll let Tori take it away for the beginning.
Cool. So we always like to have one of our OKRs around fun and how we can add fun into the company and into our work. So one of the things to say that we've done that is creating educational reels and TikToks. Something we are actively doing for this one is Alex is going to be doing a heavy focus on education on her reels and TikToks. I know Callie on the Nashville page had a really cool one that she did today on some bun education that kind of went along with the next one, which is One Design Me TikTok posted weekly. Callie's in charge of our Design Me partnership. So if you have any ideas for Design Me content, if you make any Design Me content, she will send you tons and tons of care points and will be so obsessed with you. She loves when people make Design Me content. The other thing I really want to push along with like the educational side of things is education doesn't have to only come from, Alex as a trainer or from telling people how to do a braid. Education can even be as simple as educating someone on the difference between pop a color and feed in. Letting them know, why to book each one, what one has that the other doesn't. So like feed-ins add length, they add volume, they add color. Pop a color might add a little bit of volume and will add some color, but not nearly as much as what a feed-in will, especially depending on the style you're looking for. It won't add length. So the more you can inform people both in your posting and in real life is really cool. So if you're at an appointment and you're putting in shimmers, say, oh yeah, it's really cool. The full head comes with 40 shimmers. I do a couple extra for you just in case you lose some on the first day, which you might. They're attached to one strand of hair. When that hair falls out, they fall out. Typically they last a couple weeks to a couple months. The more you can add those little tidbits into your appointment, the more educated the client's going to be, and the more they're probably going to come back to you because they feel that you're very educated and that you know a lot about your job. which you probably know, you're probably just not voicing those things out loud. So I think just being aware of, you can, involve education into the role as well. And then Chelsea will be able to explain the last one here.
Yes. So our last one is BER gets to know the whole team better and have a more personal touch. This one stems from myself because I was hired as BER before I was never a braider. I don't know how to braid, things like that. So I just started as BER and behind a computer at all times. So I felt I felt disconnected from the braiders a little bit because I wasn't the second braider on a party or working a braid bar with them or things like that. But I was talking to them every single day. So I just made it a point for myself to attend braid bars, introduce myself, like meet them in person, go see what they're doing, compliment their work. I obviously with Nashville and Scottsdale, it's a little different because I can't go to the braid bars, and neither can my team, obviously, with them both being in Buffalo right now. But we did travel to Nashville a few times, and we're hoping to do the same for Scottsdale. I'm so excited to meet every single one of you as well. But with that comes the virtual aspect of it. So I'm encouraging my team to be present on calls like this. I'm encouraging them to throw a little more personal conversation in the dream teams, or even a personal chat, something they saw, comment on your Instagram post, things like that, to just build that kind of relationship, since we are virtual. But back here behind the scenes, we think all of you, all braiders and braid waves, are so cool, and we just appreciate every single one of you. And so sometimes it stinks when it's viewed the opposite. Sometimes you're viewed as a bad guy for whatever given reason. So we just try and definitely make that stigma not true. So anything we can do. I kind of made this one up personally just because I felt it on my own. So now that I manage the department, I just want my team to do the exact same thing, follow in those footsteps kind of. So that's kind of a wrap up of that one. And that's it for the OKRs. So I'll stop sharing, but does anyone have any questions on any of those at all? No? Cool. Emily, I don't know if you're talking to us. Okay.
Yes, I totally was. Yeah, I was just gonna say, does anybody have any other last minute comments, suggestions, questions, anything else before we wrap up and head out to go get drinks?
I know, how fun you guys are all hanging out after this. How jealous am I?
I know. See, this is the thing I was just talking about, is now I'm jealous, I'm sad, I want to be there with all of you. So hopefully someday.
We'll make it happen at some point.
I know. I thought Nashville was far. You guys are across the country.
We are very far from you. All right, I'm gonna stop the recording.